E ciao a tutti, sono Chris dei Lacuna Coil e siete su richardthings.org. Hey everybody, this is Chris and I'm from Lacuna Coil and you're on richardthings.org. Rock on.
Hey everybody, this is Richard of richardthings.org. Today we are out in Baltimore, Maryland for the Sevendust Coal Chamber, Lacuna Coil, and Stolen Baby show. I have with me Cristiano of Lacuna Coil. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, how are you, man?
Good, man. So how's this tour been going for you so far?
It's been actually really good. I mean, we are playing in front of a lot of people every night. It's a great package, and it's a very diverse crowd too. I mean, we get our fans, we get a little bit of Coal Chambers and Sevendust fans as well. People come out for the Stolen Babies too. I mean, everybody's getting great reactions every night.
So how does Lacuna Coil fit on this bill? And for people, and I guess this would make a two-part question.
Yeah.
Let's make a two-part out of this. For people not familiar with you for the first time, what's one thing you want them to know about Lacuna Coil?
Well, for one, when we probably sound a little bit different. I mean, we have a little bit more of a darker atmosphere, maybe more gothic, although we're not strictly a gothic metal band, you know. And it may be interesting also because there's a lot of melody in our songs as well, so that even though we play heavy music, I mean, some of our parts are more accessible also to people like that maybe would listen more to bands like Sevendust or Coal Chamber even, you know.
Very good. So you guys have been out on support for Dark Adrenaline for about a year now. Now, so how does this tour cycle have been compared to your previous release album cycles, I should say?
Well, it hasn't been very different at all, actually. I mean, we started the Dark Adrenaline touring cycle last year when we supported Megadeth on the Gigant tour. Motorhead, Volbeat were also there. We were out. Well, it was a great tour. I mean, even then the package was so diverse. It was actually fun to see all the different people coming to the shows. But we started with that. We did then a Dark Legacy tour that was more focused on our back catalog, stuff out of our first albums. We included an acoustic set to make it a little more different and special for people who have never seen us playing in acoustic. Then we played some festivals, and now we're back on the road for this last part of the touring cycle. I mean, especially this last leg has been really long for us. We left Italy at the end of January, and we're still here, 12 weeks later. So that has been one of the longest tours we've done. But we also went to South America in between the two legs. So I mean, it was a little bit of a change, but still very, very long. So.
Yeah, that's like a whole school semester for me. I only have I only have a week left, and then I'm out for this the semester.
It's a whole quarter of a year, man. Yeah. It's gone in like that.
So let's just switch it up a little bit. So you're on the road for so long. How do you what's the everyday normal life for you on the road? Just to for people that might not know the life of a musician, of a touring musician especially.
Well, people would be actually amazed by how much waiting around there is. Basically, your day starts when you get up. Then there's not much to do. Also, because we're the second band on a bill of 4, so we don't get to sound check. We don't get to do anything pretty much all day, or at least until we get on stage to play the actual show.
Or you get to talk with people like me.
Or we get to talk with people like you. I mean, but I mean that doesn't happen every day. So most of the day is spent actually waiting around. Or maybe when you get the chance, you can go and take a walk and visit new places and stuff like that. The situation changes a little bit when you headline, because then at that point you get on stage, do a sound check in the afternoon to make sure that everything works and so on. So I mean, it really depends on the kind of tour that you're on. I mean, on this specific one, we just get up and do nothing pretty much until the time of the show.
But then that leaves you plenty of time to walk around. So what do you do you guys look on the computer and see if there's anything for significant points of interest, and then do you go look at stuff that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the problem is that most of the time we play in venues that really don't have much around. I mean, I remember a show we played in Wichita. I mean, I can tell you, even if I could go, there was nothing to see. I mean, we were just like in the middle of nowhere. So it's like we weren't even like in town.
Yeah, it's just like on a, like a suburb.
So one of those days, unfortunately, you just like sit on the bus or in the dressing room, and hopefully there's
there is
internet.
The aquarium right across the street.
Oh yeah, here. Oh, here it's awesome, and there's a bunch of stuff.
I know.
that you can do.
I know bands love like Baltimore because there's like this, like, you know, first there's the harbor, then there's the
harbor is really cool. Actually.
Yeah, and then like you can go get like you know Maryland's known for its crab cakes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so it's, I guess, you know, when you come to places like this, it's when you're excited, right?
It's like party. It's like you go out, like tons of stuff to see and like places to eat at. Like it's awesome.
So you guys were just talking. We were just talking about how you guys have been on tour for like a long while. Is there any plans for new music soon?
Actually, there is. On this tour and the last tour we did in Europe, both our bass player Marco and our drummer Chris weren't playing because Chris had a baby back in October, and Marco has a problem with his arm, so he can't play right now. The good part is that Marco is at home actually writing new material. Which means that as soon as we go back at the beginning of May, after maybe a week, 10 days off to just like decompress, you know, we'll actually start exchanging ideas and work on new stuff. So far I've heard something like 7 to 8 not complete songs, but like, rough ideas that were actually very, very nice. So we'll see what happens when we go back.
Is there any themes that you guys may have not touched on previous albums that you'd like to explore on this upcoming? Well, should I say rough demos or anything like that?
Well, there is always something you want to try and experiment with. You know, I mean, it's hard to say though what it is exactly, because you don't start when you start writing. You don't really have the precise idea of where you're trying to go. You know, most of the time we just sit there, just like write a guitar riff, jamming out. And then something will happen. It's like, oh, this is awesome. You know, it's like some things. Sometimes, you know, we try to touch like stuff that we never did before. You know, like sometimes it works. Sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble, because it's not going to be totally Lacuna Coils or whatever, which doesn't mean that we don't want to try new things, but like some things are maybe that we've tried in the past.
The world might not be ready for
that. Not be ready for that.
Just in a Lacuna Coil vault.
Exactly.
Right on. All right, let's go move on to some fun questions here. All right, so if any artist or band could cover a Lacuna Coil song, what song would you want to see cover, and by whom?
Oh, wow, I don't know. Well, it'd be fun to actually hear stuff out of like Karma Code. Karma Code is still one of my favorite albums. It's like it has a very distinct sound and stuff, and I like most of the I mean, pretty much every song on it are songs that are very, very close to me. Maybe a song that I would love to listen to made by somebody else would be the song What I See, and maybe by a death metal band like Carcass or something like that, just to see what they would do with it.
And they would have to, like, you know, be able to switch like the tones between.
Totally.
That's hilarious.
But there was a band actually that covered Heaven's a Lie. That the song appeared on a Century Media's compilation a few years ago. It was the band Mantis. They covered Heaven's a Lie, and it was a death metal version, like totally different. It was awesome though.
All right, so if you were to go on a road trip and you could only bring 3 albums with you to listen to on the way, which 3 albums would you pick as the soundtrack to the road trip to your destination?
Oh. Well, I would say like Alice in Chains' Dirt.
Good choice.
It's an awesome album, and one of my favorite bands. Pink Floyd, The Wall. I mean, does that count like 1 or 2 albums though, since it's a demo?
You can squeeze in another one.
All right, so that Pink Floyd, The Wall, and maybe good old Hotel California by the Eagles.
There you go.
Road trip is like all about it.
That's all about jamming out, singing along.
Yeah.
Right
just
on.
like going.
All right. So, are there any final words or thoughts that you'd like people to know about Lacuna Coil, you, or anything in general?
Well, we only have like one more week to go on this tour, and one thing, I mean, if people have the chance and like are not too far from where we're playing, I would hope that they would come and check us out, because it's a great tour. We get to play a decent amount of time, and just like, if you haven't heard the band before, just come out and like hang out, hear what it's all about.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Cristiano, Lacuna Coil. Dark Adrenaline is out now through Century Media Records. Richard of RichardThinks.org, and we will see you later.